Welcome to the Tea Time Podcast, where it's all about taking a few healthy minutes each day just for you, with your host, Sharissa Bradley.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea Time Podcast. My name is Sharissa Bradley, and I am so excited to be here. We are finally talking about elimination diets. If you've been listening all along and you're like, we haven't made any changes yet, well, this is a big step. Once we finally start to recognize there are things that are affecting us negatively in our diet, it is time to actually seek and find and be that little adventurer and explorer for your own body and find out what is bothering you. Because oftentimes the inflammation that is happening in the body is so widespread, it feels like maybe it's the entire body that's being affected. And that's true. But when we start to eliminate the offenders and take out the reasons that we're having these problems in the first place, we often see a domino effect in healing. And so I'm a big proponent, I'm a big follower and lover and believer of elimination diets. The whole framework behind an elimination diet is removing foods that we know cause inflammation and cause problems like autoimmunity to start to turn on when we definitely don't want that. When we start to remove these things, we actually do get better because we give the digestive system an opportunity to rest and to actually heal. And then once the digestive system and the gut and the intestines and all of these areas in the body are actually healed, most of those foods can come back into the diet, reintroduced slowly and gently, and just keeping in mind the process of the natural digestion and what the body needs. So chapter 12, Journey Back to Health, it's all about elimination diets. And I don't specifically say there's this one thing that will work, but there are a few that have been out for a while, that have been tested, and that thousands of people are having success on. And the top three that I mentioned in the book are the Whole30, the Autoimmune Protocol, or AIP, and the GAPS diet, or GAPS. All three of these elimination diets have the same premise, where they recommend a certain period of time without inflammatory foods like some grains. Some of the things that these diets have in common are cutting out gluten and dairy, and some cut soy and sugar and caffeine. Some of these things that we know for sure can cause upset stomach, gas, bloating, the things that we know for sure that can cause the digestive system to react in a way that is harmful or uncomfortable. When I was going through my own first healing journey, I actually did all three of these elimination diets. I started really intensely with the GAPS diet. That one was extremely challenging because so many foods are eliminated. And what I ended up eating on that diet was really high quality broths that I made myself with cooked vegetables in those broths. So like a soup, but really cooked so that it was very easy to digest. The books around the GAPS diet and the people that created that framework recommend doing that protocol for years. For me, that wasn't sustainable. I was able to do that for a couple of months, which actually helped significantly because I was able to make a large batch of soup or a large batch of broth and kind of just use that to eat as my meals, so I didn't have to really think about anything or prepare anything. That helped a lot when I was in a very heavy brain fog state. Once I started to have a little bit more energy and a little bit more mental clarity, I really still wanted to stay on that elimination diet protocol where I was healing the digestive system and actively taking steps towards getting better. The GAPS protocol no longer fit my lifestyle. So from there, I actually went to the AIP, or Autoimmune Protocol. I found this amazing tiny little book by Eileen Laird called A Simple Guide to the Autoimmune Protocol. The author of this book has rheumatoid arthritis, and she wrote this book specifically for people who are suffering from brain fog and autoimmune disease. It's very hard to read and intake and digest information when your mind and your body is in a really intense healing or crisis state. So she wrote this book specifically for that type of mind. So it's very simple, very basic. It's like a conversation, but also it gives the exact list of foods to avoid and the ones to go really heavy on, and grocery lists and things of that nature. This book became like a little pocket guide for me, and I was able to reference it often. And I ended up doing this autoimmune protocol for about 2 years. It did require me to cut things out like coffee and chocolate, but I have all of those things back in my life in abundance without any problems at all. The time away allowed my digestive system to heal properly. And once it was, it offers the autoimmune protocol offers a protocol for reintroducing those foods. So things like the coffee and the chocolate that I wanted back right away, I was able to introduce those things slowly, one at a time, and just watch and listen to my body and be really paying attention to what was it telling me? Was I doing okay? Is this something I'm allergic to? Is this something that's going to cause me pain or problems? And when it didn't, I was able to add the next food in. And now the only thing I avoid is gluten. Everything else, I eat pretty much everything in abundance, including things like sugar and coffee and dairy. I have no problems digesting these foods because I gave myself an abundant amount of time to heal. Now, I don't think that this video would be complete without at least mentioning the Whole30. The Whole30 is 30 days of whole foods. So it does eliminate things like wheat and dairy and sugar and alcohol for 30 days. And what it allows is for you to see exactly what types of things your body is being affected by. And then once you bring those foods back into the diet, you'll clearly be able to see if they bother you or not. For instance, if you have no idea that you have a dairy allergy, by removing the dairy for 30 days and then slowly reintroducing it, you will see very quickly whether or not you have a reaction to it. And then you'll know this is actually a food that's causing me an issue or inflammation, and I need to work to heal a little longer. Now, the Whole30 is really only 30 days, and I would definitely say start there. But when we can give the digestive system more like months, like 6 months to a year to really, really heal, you're going to have so much more success because it's kind of like a wound where you've got the scab kind of heal, like there's a scab over it, and that's that 30 days. Like maybe you've got that scab formed and you're feeling better and you know what's bothering you. But if you can give yourself even more time, the autoimmune protocol recommends 2 years. The GAPS diet recommends 2 years. And the way that I look at it is with the research of Herring's Law of the Cure. This was a theory that stated we needed 1 month for every year we were ill to heal. So for me, I was sick for like 27 years. And so I gave myself that little 2 years plus or minus a little bit of time to really heal my body. And I just gave myself that grace and that time because I really wanted longevity and healing that isn't just short-term blips. And if that's something that you're looking for too, then I would highly recommend starting with something like the Whole30, maybe graduating up to the autoimmune protocol. If you are struggling with autoimmune disease, I highly, highly recommend removing the offensive foods, removing the things that are causing dysbiosis in the gut and inflammation and pain. And maybe that pain has even become widespread because it just goes everywhere when we are not well. We actually have to kind of start somewhere and pick a place and then commit to that. And it is challenging, but I'm here to tell you it's incredibly worth it because when I was sick, I just really never ever thought that I would have the energy or the ability to do anything anymore. I couldn't exercise without needing to sleep for like at least the rest of the afternoon. I could barely even walk downstairs without needing a nap after making one meal or even just tending to one need. It was so exhausting. And to be able to go from that and say, no medication, no other stimulants, and really truly allow the body to heal. I can't speak highly enough of an elimination protocol. It doesn't add anything that hurts you. It just is taking out anything that may be causing pain and may be causing suffering. And when we remove that, we give the body the best possible opportunity to heal itself, to do what it is capable of doing. And that is just continuing to have this process of renewal. It does it naturally. So as long as we're giving it what it needs and not hurting it in any way, the body will naturally give us a healthy, amazing, energetic life if we can kind of give ourselves that time to heal. So the action steps in the book for this chapter are to just notice if you're experiencing any food allergies or unwanted reactions to foods that you eat. So you just notice, like, I eat this meal and right away I feel sick from it. There may be something in it that is causing you to have these problems that may be worth just removing for a month or two, whatever is possible for you, whatever fits your lifestyle. And then decide if there is an elimination protocol or diet that would work for you and your lifestyle. Like I mentioned, I tried some of these kind of more intense ones that I felt like I would have healed faster, but it just really didn't fit my lifestyle as a mother. I had to prepare meals, I had these responsibilities, and creating a whole other separate thing for myself, it just became too challenging. So I still wanted that process, but I needed to get to a level that made sense for me. And that's where the autoimmune protocol came in. So look into these various elimination diets. Maybe it's a Whole30, maybe it's GAPS, maybe it's a keto diet, maybe it's something like the AIP, but look into it and see if there is something that can fit your needs and your lifestyle, because it is absolutely worth it to have more time feeling our best and feeling good rather than suffering for so long, when it could be something as simple as just removing something from your diet and allowing your body it time to heal. I really hope this helps, and I'm really excited to join you guys for another episode next week. We are going to be moving on to chapter 13, and we're talking next week about detox. So elimination diets are challenging in the way that you are removing foods from your diet, you're creating a new habit. But also, when we remove the offensive foods from our diet, there are also sometimes negative side effects that can come in the form of detoxing. Detoxing from the things that have been stored in the body this whole time can often make us feel ill also. So on the next episode, we'll dive into that a little bit more, what that can look like and what that can feel like, and how to give yourself the best tools and help yourself through whatever process you may be going through. I really hope this helps, and I hope to see you all on the next episode next week. Bye.
Thank you for spending your tea time with us. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.